the start of my little CNC bench thing was this. I bought it a long time ago, or a while ago, and it's pretty hard to maneuver it all the time by hand. And okay, especially this direction is even harder. Okay, now it will be a bit harder because, yes, I put the stepper motor on top of it. I 3D printed mounts for it instead of the little plates that are standard on them. And then I made this little things. I think now they're tubes now. They're little rods. I had a very cheap lathe, so that's why I used it. It's not really on top of the specs. It's not really in the middle, and so in things like that. But okay, they work. So now they make here the couplers, and I 3D printed the holders for it. Also on the other side I will. And in this case is a mainboard for a 3D printer that is not fully functioning because it simply is not working for the heaters for a very long or good time. So now I made it inside this case just for this purpose, and of course there's no heating involved in CNC. To get it running with the temperatures, I just soldered in some 100k resistors, as you can see when I attach this little display on it. So this 25 degrees is not real, it's just the temperature that is giving from the little resistors that are inside of the thermistors installed. So this is just another controller that I put on it. I was not using it anymore. A lot of things, of course, of 3D printing, you just get it, and after some time you start having a collection of things that you're not really using anymore. So that's why I can make this. I did not really set up the firmware or things like that, so it's still running just the basic marline for that printer, and that means that it cannot go further than 200 millimeters, and that the units, the steps per millimeter, are still limited, so it's not optimal, but it can work. So when I move an axis, and this motor is now connected to the Y, it should be connected to the other one. I think it should work. Now I have to set it up. It's not I, Y, it is Z, of course. So you see it moves, and that's the whole point. And I can control it from the software anyway, so I can set up the steps in there, or I set up the firmware for the better way, but I might still do that or not, I don't know. At least I can control through the computer, and that will be the most important thing anyway. I don't know if a real controller for CNC will be much better than this 3D printing controller mainboard and using marline on it. No idea, so I have to find that out. Maybe it is better, I don't know. But for now it will suffice, and then I can use a mill on it or put it on a lathe. So here you see the blocks I made for connecting it. So now you can see that the rod is just going in there. So this now it's a little tube I made. These are the holders for putting the whole system on top of the lathe, and I had to make the wires longer. Here you see my self-made kind of chuck. It works. It's not really that easy to put in center. Here you see it all connected together, and here you see it from the other side with the chuck and all the moving parts, and now you can see it running.